What up, y'all? A black imagery here. Cutthroat.
Yeah, Holy War 007, like always.
So,
What are we talking about today?
I'm going to show you what we're talking about.
Oh, we got pictures and stuff now? We got pictures and things. Oh, looks like he's dropping stuff. He don't even know what he doing. Oh, shit.
Booyah! Wait, you can't see that.
Oh,
Oh,
is that a 7?
that's a 7, sir. It's the blow up 7. So, and just for the fans, here go my non-blow up 8. Verizon, you know what I'm saying? So,
The V Squad.
Samsung just announced that Note 9. Yeah. So what you think? You excited? I mean,
Well,
wait. First, start off with your history. When did you get into the Note, like, genre, the Note?
Okay.
Yeah.
So me and my great, fantastic self got into the Note with the Note 3. I thought the Note 3, and I still think the Note 3 is probably one of the best phones that was ever created. Ever. Because with the Note 3, you had the good old-fashioned remote, so you could actually sit there and program your your Note 3 and actually use it as a remote. And so especially when you're at a bar or whatever and you don't like what they got on, you can just go ahead, look at the TV model, bam, change it to whatever the hell you want to. One of the greatest phones ever. And then you could also take the batteries out. So every year I just buy me a good old fashioned $7 to $14 battery, swap it out, and my phone was brand spanking new all over again. And so that's one of the greatest things about that phone. So I had that phone for literally 4 years. And I got upgraded to the Note 7, which was, at the time that I had it, was a great, fantastic phone. I thought it was the greatest thing until they told me that I had to give that damn phone back. And now they gave me with the Galaxy S7, which is probably the worst phone I've ever held in my hand next to an iPhone. Not really. But just, it was probably the worst Samsung phone that I've... No, I'm not a hater, actually. I had a lot of the earlier iPhones, but...
So I was actually interested in the Note when they first released it because I think, and fans correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Note was introduced around the time of the Galaxy S2. It was shortly after the S2.
Yeah.
And I wanted it, but if I also remember correctly, it was a exclusive to AT&T, the first Note.
Yeah, I want to say that's right.
I think it was. So then the Note 2 was a big deal because it was the first phablet that was released on all the carriers. So at the time, I had Sprint, or I think I signed up with Sprint and got me a Note 2. And let me tell you, that Note 2, somebody stole it. I was still using it when I got the Note 7.
Ding.
And what I was using it for, the front-facing camera was a low-image camera, a low-quality camera. So I was recording like videos and stuff on the front because they were real tiny. And when it came to the Note 7, you couldn't get them down that small because the camera was higher quality. So I was real hot when my Note 2 got stolen because I was still using it. Now, the Note 3 came out, and yeah, I hear what you're saying. The battery was interchangeable, same with the Note 2. But I had all kinds of issues with my Note 3.
What carrier did you have?
Trash Mobile.
That's probably it. But we'll just keep going. What'd you say? Digress.
So I switched my whole entire family over to Trash Mobile from Sprint. We got all the Note 3s for like little or nothing. And I want to say we had no problems out of them for about 3-4 months. And then it just was problem after problem. We bought new batteries. We had fancy cases. We never got along with the Note 3s. And so we left the Note 3s and actually went to a LG V10. Y'all check my timeline. You'll see that after the Note 3 was hot, The next iPhone that actually released was the V10. Then we switched over to Verizon. Okay.
The real carrier.
Right, a real carrier. Then those V10s were even worse than the Note 3s. So what we ended up doing was taking a loss on the V10s and went back and bought Note 4s. I still got my Note 4. I could go upstairs and get it.
Dang.
I still got my Note 4. So the Note 4 was a fantabulous phone. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal.
But they dropped everything that was good on the 3 and when they made the 4, because that was the first year they put the Edge on it, right?
No, I had the Note Edge as well. I forgot about the Note Edge. It's a good call. So the Note Edge came out before the Note 5. Yeah. It came out before the Note 5. And the Note 4 was still going strong. But for whatever reason, Samsung came out with the Edge. I had problems with that Edge. The Edge worked. And I never used the Edge. Well, I mean, maybe I kind of used it because that was when it was on one side. So this side was flat, square, and then this side was like, so I'd be like, yeah. And then, then you would lay it on the table, right? And it was supposed to be like where you could see some kind of alert, you know, on the side because your phone was face down. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But the reason why I bought the Note Edge is because Samsung had it was a test phase with the Note Edge. They said that if they sold enough Note Edges and that they were successful, that they would continue working on curved screen phones. That's the only reason I bought a Note Edge, because I was like, well, I want to see what else they can do with Note or curved screen phones. So it's like, let's do it. I'll carry a Note Edge long enough until they come out with the next curved screen phone, and then it'll be even better. But the Note Edge didn't even last that long. Now, I don't even think you could change the battery out on the Note Edge.
No, they took every function away that made the Note 3 good. So you couldn't change out the memory card. There was no memory card.
No, that was the Note 5.
The Note 5. I thought they took that on the Note 4 too.
No. The Note 4 still had the expandable memory and the replaceable battery.
Okay, so that's why I skipped it, because I was still paying on my
Note 3.
I was still paying on my Note 3, so I was going to skip the 4 regardless. And then 5, that's when they just basically took everything out of it. Right. And I was like, my Note 3 is still all that in a bag of chips. And that's when they added the wireless charging. And with the Note 3, you can add a wireless charging port case. To not even a case, just a piece that you take off the battery pack, put it on the battery, and then you can wirelessly charge directly from the battery on the Note 3. I had that set up. So I popped mine open and put a wireless charging module on the inside of my phone, and so basically turned it into a wireless charging phone. And I'm still rocking with the Note 3. So
I didn't know
all this cool stuff is going on, and I'm still rocking with my Note 3. I was running back in the time it's Kodi now, but it used to be XBMC. I was rocking XBMC on it. I was rocking Front Row Sports on it. I was rocking all my emulators on it up to the PlayStation. Once I started trying to do the PlayStation 2 emulators, it was kind of not powerful enough to rock that. And so that's where my whole push for this new upgraded Note 9. So this Note 9 has more power than pretty much any gaming console on the market right now. So it's rocking an 8-core, 2.8 gigahertz processor, which is ridiculous.
But hold on. So let's back up before you even jump there. The Note 1 was a financial failure.
Because nobody wanted a phone that damn big at that time.
Correct. And so they took a risk with the Note 2 and said if we spread it out across more carriers, then it should be a success. The Note 2 was a hit. A huge success. The Note 3 didn't do that well. So statistically wise, you could still, probably today, if we look it up right now, we could go on Craigslist and find a Note 2 that's more expensive than a Note 3. Okay, so Note 3 didn't do that well. Note 4, hot, fire. Note 5.
I never had my hands on one, so I couldn't say. But
Note 5. Trash.
I'll put everything on that.
Note 7. Blow up.
So does that mean it's hot? Because it blew up?
Hey. I'm just
like
saying.
Fire.
It's a different type of fire. A fire that sent you to the hospital fire.
But you skipped 6. What happened with 6?
What no damn 6? It was the damn ragged ass edge. No 7, blow up. No 8, decent.
9 is going to be fire.
No, you don't see the trend there.
I see what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that the odd numbers are bad. I see what you're trying to say, but I'm saying this odd number is going to be the odd one out, and it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread.
Okay, I'm going to give you another example.
Oh, good Lord Jesus.
The Galaxy.
I don't even deal with that shit except for the shitty one that I got over there.
Okay, well, we go from there. 7, trash.
Yes. God damn.
8 is decent.
Yeah, my sister's one is pretty hot. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And 6 was pretty good.
I don't even remember. That's ones with the gold.
Right.
Gold one. Yeah. Everybody like them shits.
So I'm billing that Samsung has a history here of odd number phones being trash. The only feature that they got on this Note 9 is some Bluetooth pen. This pen don't need to be Bluetooth. Does my pen look Bluetooth? My pen works just fine and it ain't Bluetooth.
I don't even give two shit. I love the pen stuff, but I don't care about that. No. The big stuff about this Note is...
Why are you shaking the camera?
Oh, my bad. Is how big the battery is. How big the battery is. So, 4,000 milliamps, whatever? That's huge. It's gargantuan. Oh, okay. And then the big one has 8 gigs of RAM, which is crazy. Crazy. Oh, you're going to sleep on it.
Oh, no. I was listening.
You can sleep on it all day long. When I'm rocking my 9, when I'm rocking my 9, be like, damn, that shit look good. I'll be like, yeah, go back to sleep. Go to sleep, ho.
Go to sleep.
That's what I'm gonna be playing that song directly on my phone. Definitely. Straight up. Yeah.
Now let's go here for just a second.
Oh, where are we going?
iPhone 1 success.
You can say iPhone has never not been a success.
No. Hear me out here. Let's go down the line. There wasn't an iPhone 2. Now, technically, my fans know that there was an iPhone 1.5 that came out only in Japan. They had the extra storage. It was like a 32.
Nah, it wouldn't be that big.
The first one wasn't an 8?
Yeah, it was.
It was an 8?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe so. Still, they didn't come out with an iPhone 2. They went to an iPhone 3G.
I remember that.
Right. The iPhone 3G wasn't that good. iPhone 3GS was good.
So you're saying iPhone's stepping stones are their good ones? Because pretty much all of them had a stepping stone before they went to the next.
Hence the reason why I didn't buy the X. Hence the reason I'm still rocking my 7 here. Y'all get that picture? Y'all got that? I'm still rocking my 7, because well, actually, this is a 7 Plus.
Yeah, like I said, they have their stepping stones.
Right. So I wanted an 8, but I just didn't see holding on to an 8 for 2 years. And it took me a while to find out or to figure out that when they came out with the X, that they didn't come out with like an X Plus or anything like that. So the X was like really tiny. Like the X to me was like a step back in phone. It was like holding a 5S all over again. Now that 5S and that 6 Plus, I still have those phones. They still hot.
How many phones do you have?
You
just said, hey, I can go grab this note. I can go grab the other note. This one note got stolen, but I'd still have it. I got this iPhone here. I got this iPhone here. I still got this. I still got this. How many phones you got? And how many are active? I'm just saying. We can go trade all these phones in and not pay any money for this hot Note 9. That's the whole thing right there. Because that thing is damn near $1,300 for the good one.
If I trade any phones in, it will not be for an odd number Samsung. Okay? Have we established that, people? All right. So that being said, we're gonna see with your Note 9. My Note 8. Okay,
See, you don't even have a point to make right now. Let's
I do,
hear it.
I do, I do, I do. I really like this phone. A lot of people ask me how I still got my 7. Verizon bugged the shit out of me to return this phone. I was like, yeah. I still got the box. They sent me a copy and they were like, please send this back. We'll pay you. Send it back. Samsung offered me $1,000 to send them this phone back. And I'm just like,
But it was a good phone.
it still is a good phone. This phone
And it's an odd number phone.
This phone is more water resistant than my 8.
Oh, yeah, I take showers at mine when I had mine.
You were taking dick pics, weren't you? You were taking dick pics, weren't you?
See,
he can't even answer. He can't
I
even.
plead the fifth. No.
Anyway,
No, I was playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
The 7 is still a good phone. My 8, I've had issues with the port always detecting that there was moisture in there or something like that. So I'm constantly fighting with that. And otherwise than that, the 8 is good. I do not like the fact that the fingerprint is here. That was one of the biggest complaints that everybody had. I heard they moved it in the 9.
Yeah, it's on the back side.
Well, I mean, this is on the back side.
Oh.
I also don't like the fact that this Bixby button is on the side over here by the volume. So sometimes I hit that, but that's a common problem. A lot of people say disable it, but in order to disable Bixby, you got to accept all their terms and conditions just to go into the settings to be able to disable it. So my Bixby button is still active, and I'm still constantly hitting it every once in a while.
That's going to piss me off because I don't like that shit.
See, it's still introducing itself because I can't go in there without accepting all the terms. And look at all these terms. Look at all them check boxes that they want you to accept just in order to disable Bixby. I'm not doing it. You're not sending me shit to my email just so I can disable your services. I'm sorry. No, I'm not doing it. So they still got a Bixby button on the 9. I know that they moved the location. I finally got used to the location of this fingerprint scanner being right here. It's not terrible. I mean, the phone is comfortable in my hand, but I got big hands. So a lot of people are like, why you want your phone so big? Why you want your... If you look at this phone in my hand, it almost looks like an iPhone to my hand. But it's them chicks that be having them little baby hand. Ooh, take the baby hand. You be like, why is your phone so big? What you trying to prove? But anyway, I hope you all the best with the Note 9. I hope it doesn't have issues and challenges like this Note 7. I was fortunate that this is actually a replacement Note 7. This wasn't my original one. It actually might be my second replacement. Because remember they forced you to turn in the first one. And they gave you the same phone, but the same phone still had the same problems, right? So then they made you turn it in a second time, and then they were marked with S's or something like that, to where like the battery would show up a certain way if it was overheating and it would shut down the phone. So I think that this is the Note 7S, and I haven't had any problems with it. It's still alive, My coworkers and colleagues, when they saw me rocking this phone, they were like, man, that phone gonna blow up at any minute. You need to get that out of the office. You're a bomb. Keto bringing a bomb to work. And I was just like, hey, man, that ain't funny. But one of my colleagues claims that if you look at my phone on the table, that there's a little bulge in the... So, I use it around the house because I got a lot of smart things in the house. So, it served as a good remote. But... as long as I had it active on Verizon's network, they was bugging the shit out of me to return the phone. And so I finally was just like, I'm going to disable it for a little while and go back to my Note 4. Then when I thought about it, I was like, hold up. I'll never be able to get it back activated because these things I don't think this one had a SIM chip.
Yeah, dude, it should be it had it at the top. The top, you use a little piece and you pop it in and it spits it out, and that's where you put the expandable memory in it as well. See, because I loved my Note 7. I love that. I love that phone.
Me too.
Man, shut up.
Well, anyway, I guess that's enough blabbing about notes. Anything else you want to say about the? I didn't really give you a chance to talk about the Note 9.
Man, all I'm saying is that I need that phone because one of the big things is I spend a lot of time on my phone because I don't even feel like powering up my full surround sound system. I don't feel like doing anything like that, so it's usually the quickest thing. Actually, my phone, Verizon, gives me better internet speeds than my home internet, which is ridiculous. So I'm always looking stuff up on my phone anyway because it's faster, and so that's why I want the big one. So I mean, I get a 512 gigs of RAM, half a terabyte, not a RAM, but a saving space, hard drive space. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the internet is twice as fast, especially with the Wi-Fi connections that they have in it as well.
Now, are they going to be doing the new 5G on that Note 9?
I did not see it in the specs, but they had some more Wi-Fi connections in it, but I didn't see the 5G in it. And then they do, of course, upgraded cameras, which for selfies and all kinds of stuff like that, which I don't really care. Have you seen this face? I mean, who needs it? I'm just saying.
With the release of the Note 9, I will be purchasing a Galaxy Watch. This will be my first Sam's Android Gear. Is that what this is called? Android OS.
Well, they do call it Samsung Gear.
I think it is. No, it's not. No. The OS is.
Oh, the new
I think
OS
it's called Android OS for the watches. But this will be my first Android watch. I'm looking forward to it. I technically bought me an Apple Watch 3, but the fact that I can't use Google Music on it is making me go back toward getting an Android device. Yeah, well, you know. I just got my Apple Watch.
Because it's an Apple Watch.
Dang, man.
It means that much to you that you didn't even have it on. That's all I'm trying to get at you.
I didn't have it on because we was in here working like Hebrew slaves. Anyway, now that we're done working like Hebrew slaves and we've blabbed on about watches and phones, anything else you'd like to add? Man. What is your opinion on the watch?
Which one?
The Galaxy Watch.
So here's my thing. I'm not a big fan of smartwatches. It's just period. I mean, the only thing I use watches for is to look good. So if I'm going out, I throw a watch on just to go with my outfit. Have I ever looked at my watch ever since phones came out? No, maybe only to look cool, just to see it sparkle in the moonlight or something like that. Other than that, so
I'm with you on that, though. Honestly, I'm really with you on that. I wasn't a fan. I actually got this for Christmas. My lady bought it for me.
Ooh, you must got a good one, man.
Well, yeah, she all right. Shout out to my baby. She know who she is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, she bought this for me for Christmas, and I was just like, I didn't really want a smartwatch, you know. But I was like, but thank you, you know, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And, you know, now I got me an Apple Watch. Hey, but let me tell you, notification-wise, I will not be smartwatchless ever again. Because the ability to see text, like when you text me earlier today, and I said, you tell me, that was from my watch. So I was sitting in the barber chair when you sent that text. And you said, what's the deal? And I was like, oh, hold on, barber. You tell me, send. And that was hot. So, and then you could scribble replies. But I get my work messages and everything. I get a small little excerpt of what the message is, and that comes through my watch. Appointments, dude, my fans know. Sometimes, maybe you know too, you can get a notification in your phone, be in your pocket. I can't feel the vibrations all the time. And I also got that problem where sometimes I feel like my phone is vibrating and that shit ain't vibrating at all. Y'all have that problem? Am I the only one that got a problem? So I was missing appointments and messages and meetings and even phone calls because I couldn't feel it in my pocket. Maybe I had on baggy pants that day or something like that. whatever the case may be, I wasn't getting all my notifications. Soon as I got my smartwatch, I stopped missing notifications and phone calls. And it's really nice, like if I have my phone on the charger and the phone rings, I don't have to get up to answer the phone. I just say, hey, what's going on? Like Inspector Gadget. So I hear what you're saying, that watches are just more like a bling kind of lifestyle, but don't knock it before you try. What I would do if I was in your case, in your situation, is I would like buy one from Best Buy for like maybe 10, 15 days or something like that. See if it grows on you. You know, you never know. If it doesn't grow on you, return it. You know, no love lost. If it does grow on you, then just keep it.
All I gotta say is timeout. So this dude is the one that says with his new watch that he's had for what month is this? This is the 9th month? 8th month. 8th month. How come this dude never be hitting anybody back? So he tells me that he can feel every notification. He don't be missing stuff, but this dude is one of the most ones to ever go ghost all the time. So now I know this fool is just ignoring people, just ignoring N-words like that. That's just like black people. Just terrible. Just terrible. Just no good and well people looking for him, seeing if they alive, but it's like, oh, I could talk to you on my cool little watch, but you know what? I'm going to save that for another day. I'm going to do something else. So I'm just saying, now people, if I see that you have an Apple Watch and you don't hit me back, I know you're ignoring me and you're just going to get the finger because I know. And he just told me. This one right here. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of going ghost, Cutthroat here. Thank y'all for watching. We got Black Image going on right here. We just getting started. You know, give us a chance. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have more content coming your way. Holy War right here. Thank you for, coming through. Making these first couple of videos. Y'all see a lot more coming your way. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace.